Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles, and I welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. Today, we have another fun episode for you guys. But before we get into it, make sure you go ahead and hit the subscribe button. We're trying to get to 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so we'd really appreciate it if you helped us out and helped us hit our goal. So make sure you go ahead and do that. Anyway, let me get into this topic here. So I'm sure the majority of you out there know by now that the Dreamerspro Show is a sports show, right? Not a YouTube channel. We're not a YouTube channel. If you go out there and you compare us to a lot of other YouTube channels discussing basketball and sports, you'll quickly realize that there's a difference, right? Because we never positioned ourselves as a channel. Instead, we position ourselves as a show that really, at this point, runs 7 days a week. But eventually, we're going to have a more traditional format where it's like, 5 to 6 days a week or whatever it is. So we've never placed ourselves like that. And we've tried to kind of model ourselves after the big boys out there, because they're the most successful ones. So usually, as they say, success leaves clues. So you don't want to model, you don't have to reinvent the wheel here if the format is and the blueprint is right there in front of you. But whenever we talk about the best sports shows out there, we usually bring up a few names, right? The usual suspects. And who are these people? You're talking about ESPN First Take. That's a big one there. You have Undisputed. That's also another big one. You have First Things First. You have The Herd with Colin Cowherd. And of course, you have Inside the NBA, right? With Charles Barkley, Shaquille O'Neal, Ernie Johnson, and Kenny Smith. So we have all of these different shows. And I get it, right? I get why we would bring up these shows, because let's just face it, they're the best, right? They're the biggest shows out there. And they're all good in their own unique kind of way. But there's one show we rarely talk about, and we put up a poll on our channel, and we on purpose didn't put this show up there. But there's one show that we rarely talk about, and this show is Speak for Yourself. I think that Speak for Yourself might be the most intelligent sports debate show out there, if you're asking me in my opinion. I think Emmanuel Acho and Marcellus Wiley on a regular basis flex their intellectual muscle on that show. These two dudes right here, gentlemen, are extremely sharp guys. I mean, they're really, really smart. Usually when I'm listening to people talk sports or just make their points, I'm usually processing the logic in what they're saying, right? I'm not really concerned with the words that they're using, if they have a big vocabulary. I don't get enamored by that. I'm usually trying to understand what argument are these guys making and does it sound? These guys are magicians at making sound arguments. They're really sharp. And if any of you guys have actually sat back and watched their show, you would quickly understand that, right? They're very sharp, very, very sharp guys. And they're also very, very charismatic, and they have a lot of chemistry together, which I think is one of the reasons their show works so well together. And to give you guys an example of this, I was just listening to a debate that they had just yesterday, and the topic item was, is it crazy to compare Steph Curry to Michael Jordan? So before we go too far, what we want to do, I know that phrase cracks a lot of you guys up, but before we go too far, what we want to do is I want to just play a quick exchange between the two of them and just look at how these guys unpack their arguments and present their cases to the audience. So before we go too far, take a listen to these two exchanges here. Take a listen to that there.
Acho, is it crazy to compare Steph Curry to Michael Jordan?
Man, it seemed crazy at first sound. It sounds crazy after you listen back, but when you think about it, it's not crazy at all. What Michael Jordan did off the court, the impact he had, that's the same impact Steph Curry has had on the court. Steph Curry has been transformative on the court in ways Michael Jordan never was. Now let's talk about Michael Jordan's amazing impact off the court. Michael Jordan, what he did for the game globally, nobody has done. Michael Jordan with that dream team, the impact he had not just with basketball in America, but the game and the impact he had with basketball outside of America, I don't think nobody has had.
Okay.
But the impact Steph Curry has had on the court, I don't know that we have seen before. Sel.
Yes, sir.
Steph Curry got people shooting threes from 27 feet away. Now, remember, the max distance of the three-point line is 23 feet and several inches. But Steph Curry got cats out here attempting threes at the NBA level, at the AAU level, at the high school level, far beyond the three-point line. Steph Curry has changed the way you approach the game of basketball for several individuals. What Michael Jordan did was change the way you view basketball.
I like it.
What Michael Jordan did was change the way we all perceive superstardom. But what Steph Curry has done is change the way you play the game. And I don't know that we will see somebody change the game like that again going forward. There's nothing new under the sun.
Oh,
And
King
so-
Solomon, huh? We in the Bible already? When's track coming out? Let's
Nothing
go.
new under the sun. However, because you can't recreate the wheel, you can turn the wheel.
Ooh.
You can't recreate.
They say you guys discuss things, so let's discuss this one. I don't want to debate you on this one, because everybody knows it's crazy to compare Steph Curry to Michael Jordan, right? Everyone knows that, right? Like, we ain't gonna stay in the barbershop that long after the cut to talk about Steph Curry and Michael Jordan on the basketball court, right? Because Michael Jordan, at worst, if you hate on Michael Jordan, you're the biggest hater in the world, and you looked at Michael Jordan's career, the worst you could put him all time is third. Now, if you're a hater and you looked at Steph Curry's career, the worst you could put him is what, 15?
Yeah, it's
Look
funny.
at
We
us.
didn't even prep this, but
Okay, now let's give him love. Man, Michael Jordan, the sweetest thing ever. Oh, number one, right? Steph Curry, best thing ever. Is he cracking top 10?
probably 8 at best right now.
I wouldn't even say top 10, but that's where we're going to go and discuss. So to me, it's crazy to compare him. Yes, because he's not on Michael Jordan's level. And I hated this about growing up in youth sports. I think a lot of people hate it now with participation trophies, which I don't hate. But the point is, wear the ribbon that you actually earned. Like, wear the trophy, grab the trophy, wear the medal that you actually earned. That's it. Steph Curry has not earned Michael Jordan tier 1 status.
Now, after listening to that exchange, I think we can see that the fundamental difference between these two guys here and everyone else is how they're able to substantiate their views with solid argument and data. So arguments and data. I think this is the fundamental difference between these guys and everyone else. And, oh, by the way, they're able to do that in an entertaining manner. If you listen to a lot of other, big wigs out there, when they're making their points, usually have one or two things. You have usually one guy making a good argument, but he does it in a very boring and uninteresting way. You have another guy who's making you have other guys who make terrible arguments, but they're terrible arguments. They deliver them in a very, very entertaining way. So people kind of get lost in the entertainment aspect of it. It's more entertainment. Whereas these two gentlemen, I think they present some intelligent, well thought out arguments, and at the same time, they do it in their own entertaining way. Now, here's the difference. They may not be the loudest or the most entertaining duo on TV, because they're not. There are other guys out there that are very, very entertaining who are just must-see TV, and I don't think there's any debate about that. But if we're just talking about the way that these guys can unpack topics and explain them and really present arguments to their audience, and at the end of this, and at the end of whatever segment that they're doing, at the end of that, it allows people to come to a conclusion based on the facts and not the entertainment. I think there's really no one out there that does it better than these two guys. And these are just some of the reasons that I think why this show may be the best show on TV, and they're definitely worth checking out on a reoccurring basis. And that's my opinion. So what I want to know from you guys is, what do you think about the show? What do you think about the arguments that I put forward? And where do you think they rank in all of the shows out there? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Once again, this is Charles here from Dreamers Pro, wishing you guys an amazing day and catch you guys on the next episode.